Hi and welcome back to Milton Guitars. Sorry it's been such a long time since I did a video, but it's been very busy at this end and I also had a little bout of illness. So sorry for the delay. Back with some more on the MT1. Yeah, hi folks. Since I saw you last, been very busy, been playing these guitars, also treating them a bit. I've just bought a case, really nice case for one of them, just as a test trial, and as you can see, it fits beautifully in this case. There we go, I think you can see that. I will post a link to where I bought the case, because it was reasonably priced on eBay, and those of you in the UK may be interested in getting hold of one. Now, the other thing that's happened since I last made a video, I've played them a lot, an awful lot. I've been in and out of three bands, but now I'm nicely settled in a new band, and although we've got no name yet because it's very, very new, I hope to bring you some info on that at some point. Anyway, as a consequence, I've been playing these a great deal, and I have to say that I was looking to find fault and also lots of differences between the two, but I can confirm that they are absolutely identical in sound, in playability, because I've set them both up exactly how I want them, and in terms of the look, well, there's a few little minor differences. The wood on number 2 on the neck, this is number 2, yep it is, and that's number 1. The neck wood on number 2 is just a slightly nicer flame, which you've seen in previous videos. There we go, that's quite a nice flame on the front and back of the headstock of number 2, and the wood at the back of the neck as well, as you can see. As you can see, there we are. The wood is slightly better on number 2, but I have to say, I really like them both. We did have an issue with the tremolo, if you remember, that it wasn't the Wilkinson that I asked for, but I've got 2 packages here, one from eBay that I decided to get, and one from China, which they sent me. And guess what they sent me? Free of charge. 2 Wilkinson push-in. It worked a minute ago. Perhaps it's... There we go. 1 push-in trem. 2 push-in trems. That really is a stiff bar. That seems bigger than the other bar. In fact, it may well be a slightly bigger diameter. It will fit in there, but it does mean that I've got to adjust the Allen key at the back here, just to get that to sit down in that. There we go, and just tighten it up just enough to stop it from flopping down too easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the trem that's on this for the Wilkinson, and looking at this, it looks very much like it'll be a direct replacement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to de-string number 2. I'm going to take off the back plate because people have been asking to see in there, because I know there is a drill hole right the way through to the pickup cavity. And then I'm going to put one of these Wilkinson trems on. And the other thing that I've treated them to from RC Guitars in the UK is, rather than having these budget Fender type string trees, I've bought roller string trees, 2 pairs, 1 for each guitar, but I'm going to replace them on 1 guitar, get that set up, and then let you see how that works out. Yeah, one thing actually before I completely take these apart, I did want to see how the locking tuners worked out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen one of these off, because if you remember when they came from China, these had been wound around the post an awful lot, as you can see in that shot there, I think. And we were going to try them directly through and just on the locking tuner. So I'm going to pull this, instead of winding it around, I'm going to pull it through tight, as you would when putting on a string onto a locking tuner. And I'm just going to screw this up as you would with a locking tuner, just enough to give it a bite, and then see how it tunes with no winds. Just to make sure that these locking tuners are as good as they say they were going to be. Stretch that string out again. Good stretch. Well, it's certainly holding it, that's for sure. Yeah, that seems to really work. I think we'll just try the same thing very quickly on the high E string, which had a lot more winds on it. Just to make sure these locking tuners are as good as they should be. Right, so we'll take the whole of that string off. Let's see how many winds there were. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winds on that. Just not necessary with a locking tuner. So what we'll do, try it with the high E string as well. We'll just straighten it out a touch without putting it through my finger. And I'm just going to thread that back through, if I can. Oh, a bit bent on the end, unfortunately, which doesn't make it very easy to thread back through. So let's have another go. I think it's actually getting caught in the mechanism for the locker. It doesn't seem to want to go back through. Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to just trim it off so that I can at least get a straight bit through, as we don't need too much string on here. Let's straighten that as much as I can and trim the end of this string off. Such a shame with such nice strings from China. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this through now. Yes, there we go. That's through. So we'll tighten this up, tighten the locking tuner up. Good and tight. And let's give this a go. See what we make of it. And I can tell you for one that needs tightening quite tight in order to get it to bite on that tuner. Let's have a I think I can actually feel this one tightening up. It does take a couple of winds on this, but I can just taking the slack out of the string. Yes, it does work. It works, and I have managed to get a couple of winds on there, I'm afraid, in trying to take the slack out. But certainly the locking tuners seem to be doing their job. So that's good news. Right, be back in a moment when I've got all of this lot off. Right, as you can see, I have got the back of the guitar off now. A little bit dusty where it hasn't. We haven't had a chance to open this before. And I can see already that there is that cavity that my friend, I can't remember who it was, the one with the Indian head on, has pointed out. There is a floor that goes right the way through into the pickup routing. So that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, not to worry for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this trem off and see if the Wilkinson fits over the existing posts. Well, there we go. The trem's off with the strings, and we'll pop those all over there, and we'll get one of these Wilkinsons, doesn't matter which. The routing's not fantastic under that, as you can see here. Where's my micro dusting cloth? Because this has been out and I've been playing this guitar non-stop. I haven't played any other guitar since I got the MT1. It's gone everywhere with me. Rehearsals, on holiday. It just goes everywhere. It's a lovely, lovely guitar. Right. These posts are a little bit loose, and they did actually send me replacement posts from China, but to be fair, if this fits over, then the only thing I really can see doing is just to see if the posts that they sent, they're nice and long, whether the actual post rather than the bushing is the same thread. Let's have a quick see. It looks similar. I'm not convinced it's identical. No, that looks a much wider post. So we're going to have to stick with the original posts from the trem that they sent from China. And we will save these in case, because I'm not adverse to doing a bit of work on guitars, as you probably know, but we won't use those just at the moment. I'll just compare and contrast the springs. They're identical, so it really doesn't matter which ones we use, so I'll stick with the originals of those as well. So all I'm going to do is pop this, or actually first thing I'm going to do is just compare the bridges, just to see if they've got a similar profile, which they do look to have. This one's got a little bit of a nick out of it, and we'll set the intonation up, but it looks very much like the intonation positions can be achieved. And yeah, looking at that, there we go. That's going to sit nicely on there. Just going to raise that one a trifle, just a hair, because that's how it was. Then we'll turn it over. Actually, there's plenty of space in the back for these springs, and we'll get the centre one on first. There we go. And now the outside edges. That's one. And that's two. Make sure these are all sat in nicely. Doesn't seem too happy. I wonder if it'll be happier when it's got strings on it. I think actually it's a case that the fixing points on the old trem were much further forward on the tremolo unit. In fact, yeah, I can, let's get it the right way around. I can confirm Actually, they're pretty much the same. So I guess what we really need to do is just get some strings back on this, which I will do. Oh, no, it's not. We need to pop the new string trees on. And as I say, I got these from RC Guitars in the UK. Wherever possible, you should try to use the existing screws. If I had the right size screwdriver, that is. But putting the screws in the string tree, you should aim to use the old screws, because they've already been tapped into the headstock. So that's what I'm going to do. In fact, while I go and find the screwdriver and put these new roller trees in, and I'll just give you a bit of a jump forward. So, as you can see, I've now replaced the string trees and the trem for the Wilkinson, and really rather pleased. The lockers and this Wilkinson trem seem to stay in tune really, really well. I've yet to do the intonation, I have to confess, because I really wanted to show you what the guitar looked like with the correct tremolo on it. And this, if we do go on to a production model fairly soon, this is the tremolo that will be on the Milton MT1. It'll be a Wilkinson like this. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. Now I'm going to get the intonation set up, and I'm going to be rehearsing with this tomorrow night. Hopefully you can hear how good that is staying in tune. Really pleased with it. So I'll be back very soon, and I will swap out the other bridge for the other Wilkinson. I'll get all the intonation set up so that we start with the closer to the production model to start comparing and contrasting. But as I say, I've found no differences between the two whatsoever at the moment. Which I have to say, I do think this looks a lot classier with the Wilkinson on it rather than this one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll be back as soon as I can. May not be quick, but I'll be back again with another video as soon as possible. Just before I go, you'll note that the spacing and the bridge posts on the original tremolo on this all work perfectly for aligning over the poles of the pickups and getting aligned with the neck. So that really just has been a complete swap out, and gives me confidence that the Wilkinson trem will be fantastic on this guitar. Okay, take care, speak to you soon, and until the next time, enjoy.